Today I'm going to be adding some glitter glue like this to canvas bags and t-shirts. So I'm going to go ahead and show you my process. Usually you take a little bit and just mix it together. It dries clear, so you don't have to worry about the white. And I'm just mixing it up. You usually don't have to mix this much to it, but for some reason a lot of it came out, so I think I'll be using a lot of this glue. I'll just stir that in. And you really don't need a lot of Mod Podge. Usually just a drop will do it. And I pretty much apply it with a paintbrush. And a lot of the materials that I buy, they are less than $10. The most expensive thing that I've bought for materials has been the what's it called? The dryer, the hot air gun. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and coat it with a generous amount. Now you could either add the glitter glue first and then put the Mod Podge on top of it. But what I like to do is mix them together. That way they're pretty much mixed in with each other. And since this stuff has a tendency to wash out, because it's pretty much for kids, and you know, just to be safe on clothing and whatnot, but I don't want it to be safe on the clothing. I want it to affect the clothing. So I add the Mod Podge with it. That way it doesn't accidentally wash out like from the other side or something like that. I don't know if that would happen, but I want to make sure that this stuff stays. And I love using all kinds of different glitters, so you'll be seeing quite a few. And that's pretty much my process. And like I said, it takes about 24 to 48 hours before you can wash it. That way it stays. And I'm going to do a drawing from beginning to end on a t-shirt. I don't usually add these to t-shirts. Because the Mod Podge dries. Like if you ever had a shirt that that has texture to it, I don't like sleeping in shirts like that. It will feel kind of heavy with the Mod Podge on there. I like my shirts to kind of, like, that's one of the reasons why I use the fabric markers, because the fabric markers don't have any kind of texture to them. It pretty much goes on flat, and your t-shirt feels flat and comfortable. With Mod Podge on it, it gives it a raised texture, or rather, it just gives it a coating, and it feels kind of funny on the skin. After a while, it softens a bit, but it feels really stiff. So if you don't mind your shirts feeling a bit stiff, go for it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I've got the blue in there. I think I want to add another blue to it. And I bought this glitter glue at a dollar store. Either I bought it at a dollar store or I bought it at Walmart. I can't remember which. So I'm going to add this glue to it as well. This is the glitter glue. If you don't like fussing with glitter that gets all over the place, this is really a great find. Let's see if it's already got a hole in it. Yes. Okay. So I just squeeze some of that out. And this stuff also may wash out. So what you want to do is definitely mix that with the Mod Podge. There we go. And we'll just throw that on top as well. Now there is Mod Podge on here, so So it's not unsafe to go ahead and do it directly onto the picture. And then you just put a little bit of Mod Podge on your paintbrush and just rub it in. It looks white at first, but like I said, it's going to dry clear. Go ahead and bring that all the way down. Now I also have some other glitter that I'd like to add. That's not a glitter glue, and it also has, it's like, let's see, I'll bring it out in a second. And it's a bit bigger. The speckles are a bit bigger than these little dots here. These little glitter fragments here. Now if you are concerned about it possibly flaking off, give it 2 coats of Mod Podge. And let that dry, and it will not go anywhere. Okay, here's another one of the glitters that I want to use. This one here I bought at, I believe, Michael's. Get a little bit of that. And I'm just going to dip my brush right on in there. Grab a couple. And I was thinking about using it on like this tail area. So I'm going to toss some of it into her hair. And maybe I could do it on her face. She is kind of mermaidish. And you just move it around. It's a bit big to have on her face, so I might have to do a bigger face. Yeah, it is a bit big. So I'll leave that for this area down here. And maybe on her arms, that might not be bad. I'll take it off. But yeah, you just go ahead and add Mod Podge to this. Get that. And make that stay. Add Mod Podge to it directly, and then add Mod Podge on top of it to make it stay a little bit better, and it will dry clear. Now this particular version of Mod Podge is a gloss, so not only will it stay, it'll be completely glossier as well. I'm going to put some on her shoulders. Now, I have a tendency of overdoing it when it comes to glitter. You may have more restraint than I do. And just move it around. It looks like scales, just a little bit. And have it go down her arms. And put a little bit of Mod Podge on. I apologize if I say it wrong. It's just, it sounds funnier. Well, not funnier. It's a tendency of mine to say Mod Podge. I didn't realize I would say that, but I picked that up from the person that told me about Mod Podge. The first time I started doing my very first t-shirts, and she suggested this as a sealant, and ever since she did, I have never gone back. Not back to anything but Mod Podge. Alright, that's a bit much of that. Okay. This glitter that I've got here, also I picked this up at not Walmart. I picked this up at Michael's. This is loose glitter, so you could do the same thing like I did with the larger ones. Just go ahead and put a little bit of Mod Podge on the brush, and just dip your brush on into the glitter and just let loose. I'm just going to drag some of that into the deeper, darker blue areas. And then as it's just about drying, I'm going to add a little bit of Mod Podge on top of it, so just to ensure that it's not going to wash out on me. I don't wash these bags as often as I do with clothing, so the longer you refrain from washing it, the longer that it stays, because it gives it more time to cure. And so I don't know if you can tell from the lights that I currently have, but it is pretty glittery. So I pretty much just collect some glitter, just the pretty colors that I find either on sale or on special or anything that catches my eye. I'll just toss that on in there. You're going to want to clean your brush really well after you're done using the Mod Podge, because it will stiffen the bristles and you'll never be able to use it again. Not for the purpose that you used it before. Oh, I'm just getting glitter happy. And I'm just going over it with another coating of Mod Podge. And it's going to stiffen for a bit. Once it finally dries, it's going to be pretty stiff. This one here is a silver called Twinkle, Craft Twinkles. Really nice glue. I'm going to put a little bit in her hair as well, and a few places. I was thinking about putting it in the highlight. And again, you still want to use Mod Podge to seal that on in there. You don't have to, but just to be on the safe side to make sure that it doesn't wash out. I'll just bring that in everywhere I think it should have a highlight. Take the excess that I might have left in some of these other areas. Now, if you want to go back into your color, into your glitter, you won't really be able to. You'll be covering it up. Like say you want to touch up a spot, like right here, maybe I might want to throw more blue on. I won't be able to because the glitter will be on there and it'll just go over the glitter and you'll lose that shine. So that's pretty much the price that you pay if you want to go back and fix things. You'll lose a bit of the glitter that you put on there, and then it'll be like raised, and it'll be like coloring on sandpaper. It has that rough texture. I'm going to probably come back in here and do some stuff on her tail area, but I just wanted to add this glitter to her hair. I drew this while I was sitting on the bus. I get really bored, and when you're on the bus, it's like it bounces and whatnot, so I get all kinds of straight lines and whatnot. But every now and then when the bus slows down, I'm able to get a straight line in there. And it makes the time go by a lot faster. Okay, next thing I'm doing is I'm adding some pink to her face. And I'm going to do the Mod Podge thing again. Take a little bit of Mod Podge and mix that in. It's not going to hurt anything if you overdo it like I do. It'll just dry clear. Like it's all clear up in here now. Formerly when it was white. I'm going to put a little bit of this on her cheeks. And this is the pink color. Now I overdid it with the blue and the sparkles. You may want a more subtle look to your picture. Just add a little bit of glitter in certain areas. And in a way, this kind of helps me experiment to see how I like it, how I can better work this into other pictures that I do. Now I want to make the glitter a little bit more pronounced on her makeup here. So I'm going to use a little bit of the red in here. And I'll mix that with the pink and see what I get from that. But it's better to, I think it might be better to color your picture where you want the colors to be first. Let it dry and then add your glitter. That way you can get to the deep dark colors that you want or what you're looking for. I want to have a little bit of red up in this area and maybe a little bit into her cheeks. Spread it out because you don't want it to clump in one area. Alrighty. And some of this I'm going to just add directly on here. I don't need to. Actually, there might be. It might be clogged a little bit. Okay, no worries. Alright. Never enough glitter. There's never enough. But you don't want to put too much because you still want to see your lines, the beautiful lines that you created. There we go. So we've got glitter all over that. Yeah, I think I'm going to end up coloring that in, but that's how I would add glitter. Here's one that I am working on as well. I will let that one dry. And she's kind of got the same kind of color scheme going on. What I'm going to do is I'm going to color the hair in like a rainbow color. And then I'm going to put glitter on top of it. But right now I'm going to just focus on her face. And I'm going to use the red and pink glitter right here. And this one I'm not going to be as crazy like the mermaid one. little bit more selective on here. So have it like maybe pink up in this area here, pink and red. And I'll put a little bit on her lips. Just enough to give her that sparkle. Her lips aren't as dark as I'd like them to be. When I use tulip fabric markers and a little bit of the graffiti fabric marker and the color time flesh tone to get that deeper, darker brown in there, or purplish tone, like this little tone right here. That's the color time marker. And I think I want to put a little bit of the iridescent. Let's see if I've got the iridescent. Here it is. I also got this one, this glitter here from Michaels. That as well. And a lot of these glitters I bought while they were either on sale or I bought it with a coupon. So I didn't pay a lot of money, but it's a great find. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add the glitter, rather the Mod Podge, to her cheeks real quick, just to give it like a little base. Right here. And see, it dries clear, or it starts to clear up. And then I'm going to add, I'm going to dip my Mod Podge covered brush right on in there. And then I'm just going to lightly add that onto her cheeks. Now I have this bag held in place by a embroidery hoop, and add a little bit more. But I have to be very careful because I don't want the Mod Podge to seal in the cardboard that I have underneath that I'm using as kind of like a base to color on. So I'm going to be removing the cardboard that's underneath. Close this up. Alrighty, and there's the iridescent color. It gives her that green, that blue, a little bit of the yellow, depending on how you move it. Take that cardboard out right now, and this is how I have it in there. Pop it down, and I just made a black disc that I slip in. I do that because I don't want it to get stuck onto it. So I'm going to do that, and when I get ready to color it, the hair, I'll go ahead and put it back in and do my thing. So I'm wondering if I could speed up the process with my hot air gun. I'm not sure. I'm going to add a little bit of this glitter glue to the bottom of the iridescent part. Let me see if it'll go through. Just a little bit. And then I'm going to cover that with Mod Podge. So you have a couple ways of skinning the cat here. You can add the glue directly. But I'm going to put enough Mod Podge on there so that if it does, if I'm afraid that it's going to wash out, I'll have Mod Podge on here, a couple layers of it, to try to offset that. And I'm just going to blend that upwards this way. Another thing I got to be careful of is to make sure that I'm not applying it so thick that it's going to attach to the very bottom or the other side of this. I don't want it to stick to the back side. It doesn't feel like it's going through the canvas. Canvas is pretty thick. And the canvas too, I bought at, this one here I bought at Walmart. And they were about almost $9, I think. Either $9 or $9.30, something like that. And so all these materials are very affordable. These brushes I picked up at Walmart. Walmart's really stepped up their game as far as art supplies. Everything that I would go to a specialty art supply store to pick up, I picked up at Walmart. From the fabric markers to, except for the color time, but from fabric markers to the markers I use to outline, to this glitter, I picked up at Walmart. Yeah, I think, let's see, yeah, pretty much all of this, even the Mod Podge, I picked up at Walmart. That really stepped it up. Okay, I'm going to see if I can speed this up a bit with my heat gun, hot air gun. Alrighty, it's not completely dry, but it's dry enough so you can see that the Mod Podge is absorbed into the canvas bag, and you see the touch. It's not, the glitter's not coming off to the touch. So yes, it's sped up a little bit, but again, you still want to wait 24 to 48 hours before you wash it. Now also, you can get away with using other, let's see, other glitters. There's one that I have that I absolutely love. It's got, I picked this one up at Michael's, and they're hearts. They're little black hearts, and this was in their like 99-cent bin, and I love these. So I'm going to probably add a couple hearts here or there. Let me check and see if I've got some other glitter that might be a little bit more appropriate for this unicorn look. So give me a second. Alrighty, so next thing I like, I have this set of glitter that I picked up from Michael's, and I thought I couldn't live without it. I've used this on other things. It lasts a long time. The only thing is that you got to watch out for this top here. Sometimes, you know, if you don't have it just right, it'll open up a little bit and you'll lose a lot of glitter. So I love these hearts, and pink hearts are what I'm going to use. This is a little small for me to, yeah, I can get away with it. I could probably get my brush on in there, put some Mod Podge on it, pick up some hearts. But I just went ahead and sprinkled some out onto the Mod Podge. I'm going to mix that in just a bit, just like that. And then I'm going to start adding them to her top of her cheeks. I don't want a whole lot on there, just a little bit. I'll just take off some of this excess Mod Podge. Separate these a little bit. See, I think I will try dipping this in a little bit, just to get a couple more hearts. Got a lot of hearts. Didn't want this many, but that's okay. Too many of these hearts will look like a skin conditioner, so we don't want too many. Okay. A little bit up. Much on this one. Some of Now these have a raised feel to them, so I would recommend putting that heavily with Mod Podge. Let's see, and so that I have that on there. What else can we put on here? Let's see, I've got other colors. I could throw maybe one or two on there, or I'll just leave it alone with the pink ones. Oh, I love these. There's some blue stars here. I'm going to use those. Let her dry a bit. We'll switch back to the mermaid. There we are. Go back to the mermaid, and I think I'll put a speckling of the blue star, blue hearts on her cheeks as well. Let's see. Oh, let's see. Here in smiley stars. I'll just coat that with the Mod Podge. A little bit on this side as well. Maybe on the oh, that's too much. We can throw it into her hair. That way it's not wasted. And then about 3 or 4 stars. Okay, and then I'm just put that again with Mod Podge. I'm gonna put it on pretty heavy because I don't want these guys to go anywhere. Now, if someone decides they wanted to just scratch them off, you'll be able to do that. So I don't recommend this for like little kids. Because if they were determined to scratch it off, it will scratch off. But on regular usage and whatnot, it's not going anywhere. I like using Zentangles, so I'm going to probably end up throwing some more Zentangles on while I'm riding the bus. Haven't decided where, but that would definitely happen. Oh, these stars are beautiful. Let's see if I can spread them out a little bit better. Again, you don't want too many of them on the face. They're pretty big, and yeah, they can look like a skin condition. So, let's see. Now, I've also got jewels, like these. These I would apply with E6000. It works pretty good, but again, these. If somebody wanted to pry them off, they will definitely come off. And let's see if I can get this lid off. It's been a while since I've used this tube. It looks like it's glued the cap to the tube. Okay, well, E6000 works even well on itself. So much for that idea. I'm going to have to get some pliers and see if I can pry that off. But other than that, that's how I would do it. So I'm going to go ahead and let both of the pictures dry before I add anything else. And that's what this one looks like so far. And what this one looks like right now. Another thing that I want to do is add glitter to the eyes. And I'm going to use a glitter pen for that. Let's see, I'll give this one... give this one purple eyes. Let me get this away. I'll figure it out for the mermaid one. this one I want to give purple eyes. I've got another Crayola pen. This is the Violet Lips. And I'm going to, instead of putting it directly on there, I'm going to put it onto my plastic. This is just plastic wrap, pink plastic wrap. And I'm just squeezing some of this out, and then I'm going to mix it with the glitter. Mix it with the Mod Podge. And I'm going to see if I can find let's see if this brush will work for me. I'm going to see if I might have to get a smaller brush in order to get that on there without making too much of a mess. Let's see. No, it's working. And because it is, because this is Crayola, it will wash out, so I have to mix this with the glitter, with the Mod Podge. Okay, and I think, let's see, I think I have another purple glitter. That's just the hearts. That's okay. Should go a little bit more. Don't need too much. Just enough. And I think I'll even try putting it on directly and then putting Mod Podge on top of it. Let me do that. There we go. I'm going to put a little bit right here. I'm going to highlight it. Lovely. Okay. And now I'm going to throw some Mod Podge on top. I'm going to make sure to stay. And since I still have a little bit left over, I'm going to throw a little bit around the cheeks. If I didn't put too much on there. There we go. Maybe a little bit on the lips. With this little shadow of the lips here. Just a little. There we go. Lovely. And let's see, can't hurt to throw a little bit of the blue down here. Some of the Mod Podge that I have left over on this. It sounds like a Christina Aguilera look to her. Alrighty, so that's a start. And then on this one, let that one do its drawing thing. And make sure that it's not, doesn't have any of the other parts touching it. Okay, to this face, she's drawing nice and blue. Not sure if I have any blue. Alright, I've got two colors. I've got this green in a silver, this is called Emerald Zest, and I've got, what's this one called? This one's called Blue Blazes. So I think I'm going to use both of these. Shake them both up a little bit. And we'll use this as her makeup, probably in her eyes and whatnot. Let's see. Give her blue eyes. Now this one here, I have with a box underneath. That way, it's not touching anything. It's the bottom of the box is bottom of the bag is protected by the bottom of the box. So this part will not touch the inside of this bag. And with it being a box, it is supported on these sides here. So I have, it's pretty cool. I don't know why people use tripods. I don't know why people put them directly onto the back of things, because it takes so long to dry that way. So I recommend finding a box that's the equivalent size and using that. My lesson or my tip for the day. And I recommend that. I've done that with a few of my fabric paintings where I use that. Okay, let's see. We will have, oops. The only downside is that when it comes to putting pressure on it, it's going to collapse. So you'd have to tighten it or put something beneath it. But I'm going to see if I can get this stuff to come out. I'll do it the same way I did this one, the purple. Let's go ahead and draw some of this out. I haven't used this in almost a year, I think. Let's see if that'll work. There we go. We got some of the green to come out. We'll put a little bit of green in her eyes. A little bit here. And then a little bit of blue to bring out. Oh, maybe we don't need the blue. I don't know if I want to put it on her lips though. So we got a little bit of blue. Let's try the blue now. This blue is gorgeous. And we'll just put that a little bit above the green. And then we'll coat it with Mod Podge. Okay, that looks a little messy. We'll see what happens. I'm going to take a little bit off so she doesn't look like a villain. Yeah, it looks like it's spread out a little bit, so we'll just spread it out a little further and even bring it down a little bit. skin, and where I do something else, bring it into other parts of it. She's a mermaid. Let's have a little bit of blue going on. Make it look a little bit more natural for her to have these colors interacting on it. Some of the blue glitter glue. I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit on her skin. Mix it into her fingers a bit. And we'll put a little bit of this onto her shell ears. We just kind of wanted to make it look like it belongs to her. Like it wasn't a mistake. And just coat it with Mod Podge. Alright. She looks pretty. And I could also do an outline of the blue, but I'm going to leave that alone for now. Anything that I missed, I'll go ahead and add to it. And it probably can't hurt to do a little bit of that blue-green action going on here. Maybe green into blue or blue into green. Or blue going into green. So, let's see. I've also got, let's see, this is a light green glitter. So I'll use kind of like a gradient thing going on. So I've got this one here. So another glitter blue, and I don't appear to have fused it because it's got the little cap still on it. I'll take the cap out. There we go. Let's squeeze a little bit of this out. Let's see, and then I'll use the green emerald, whatever this is, the emerald zest, the Crayola emerald zest. I'll throw that on here again. Just look at, see if I can get some more of that out. Let's see, and the blue. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put directly on here. And what I'm going to do is put Mod Podge on it to seal it. Going at an angle. what I do to one side, gotta do it to the other. Put the light green on next. And I'll just kind of have them merge into each other. Adding that Mod Podge on top. Hopefully you can see that. Do the same thing on this side right here. Okay, and here's where I am so far with the picture on the canvas bag. And this will give me something to play with while I'm on the bus. And then this one here, I'll definitely be finishing it up, coloring the hair in this like rainbow hue, a little unicorn looking thing. So, thank you for watching, and please like and subscribe to my channel. If you like what you see, give me a thumbs up. If you don't like it, let me know why. That way I can improve. Alrighty, and again, thank you for watching, and you have a great one. Bye-bye.